Hello everyone and welcome to Lit Up with Lit. Here we'll dive deep into the timeless stories of classic literature and boggle about various philosophies. Today we will try to answer this intriguing question whether or not there is an element of absurdism in Mahabharata. Yadi hasti tadanyatra yani hasti na tat kvachit. This famous Sanskrit shlok from Mahabharata carries the essence of this great epic. It means whatever is here is elsewhere, whatever is not here is nowhere. Mahabharata, originally named Jaya, is a story of heroism, betrayal, divine intervention, and moral dilemmas. The complexity of its character and the various scenarios that unfold throughout the story brings forward moral ambiguity and meaninglessness. They raise unsettling questions that echo the ideas of absurdist philosophy. Why does talent not always guarantee success? Why do we fight battles that we are destined to lose? And does the universe, more importantly God, even care about human sufferings? To unpack this, let's start with the basics. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines absurdism as a philosophy based on the belief that the universe is irrational and meaningless, and that the search for order brings the individual into conflict with the universe. It was largely developed by the 20th century philosopher Albert Camus. He reflected on the hollowness of the universe and that humans seek meaning in a universe that offers none. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus, through the Greek character Sisyphus, asks us to imagine him happy. Sisyphus is condemned to roll a boulder up a mountain only for it to roll back down for eternity. His story echoes absurdity in its raw form. Through this, Camus conveys that absurdity is not a cause of despair but a spur of happiness. So in this video, we will try to reverse engineer the 20th century idea of absurdism to this ancient epic standing tall in the test of time. Mahabharata is full of complex characters who struggle against their destinies only to fail. The best example to elaborate on this is Karna. Karna was born to Princess Kunti and Surya the sun god. Since Kunti was unmarried, she gave him up. Thus, Karna enters a life of challenges where he is forever denied the recognition he craves. Despite being extremely skillful and a generous person, he is trapped in the unescapable claws of destiny. No matter how hard he tries, he fails. It is almost like the universe is indifferent to his struggles, similar to what Camus argues. His story embodies the absurd hero, someone who fights despite knowing the futility of their battle. This is further proven in the text when Sri Krishna reveals Karna's true identity and asks him to join his brothers, the Pandavas, which he denies for his friendship to Duryodhana. He then metaphorically describes the Great War as a huge sacrifice where all great warriors will be offerings and Krishna himself will ultimately receive the sacrifice. Karna hence accepts his fate with grace while shining through history for his invincible spirit. His statement thus highlights his deep awareness of the inevitability of fate in war, aligning with the fatalistic and sometimes absurdist themes in Mahabharata. The Great War is another example of absurdism at play. It is widely considered to be a war between dharma and adharma. But as we dive deeper into this battle by scratching off the surface, we find that both sides are deeply flawed. Though Pandavas are portrayed as heroes, they are not without their shortcomings. If a king readily gives away his entire kingdom as well as his brother and even his wife, can he be really as good and righteous a king as he is thought to be? The war is won through various deceptions and questionable tactics while leaving behind death and destruction. The question thus echoes if it was all worth it. Absurdism suggests that humans impose meaning even when there is none. This war mirrors this idea. Was it truly about justice or just an inevitable cycle of destruction? Born from fire as a princess of Panchal, Draupadi's lives mostly unfold as a consequence of the actions of others. Kunti's words dictates her fate to have 5 husbands, while her humiliation in the Hastinapur court is a result of Yudhishthir's callousness. However, she does not submit to her fate. She demands retaliation and questions dharma. After her humiliation, she asks questions about the very foundations of dharma and morality, whether it is truly just or not. This defiance makes her an existential rebel in the Camusian sense. If absurdism suggests that life is meaningless, Camus' solution is to rebel, not by expecting justice, but by continuing to fight against meaninglessness. Draupadi embodies this. She does not succumb to despair. Instead, she acts as a catalyst for a war which ultimately reshapes the world. Talking about Mahabharata without Bhagavad Gita is impossible. Here Krishna, in a way, opposes the reigning meaninglessness by urging Arjuna to act without attaching any sentiments to his actions. He says that meaning exists, but it is beyond human understanding. Hence, Arjuna should act without attaching to any resulting consequences, and this is famously known as Nishkam Karma. Arjuna must act, not because it will bring him sadness or happiness, but because action itself is his purpose. So what does it all mean for us, mere listeners living in our own ignorance in this pale blue dot? The Mahabharata is not an absurdist text, but it does explore absurdist themes. Fate is inescapable, morality is ambiguous, this universe is silent, and yet one must continue to act, fight, and seek their own meaning. It's not about whether life is fair or whether meaning exists. It is about what we choose to do despite it all. In the face of absurdity, we can either despair or, like Karna, Arjuna, or Draupadi, we can keep moving forward. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep seeking meaning in the chaos.